Hi folks, how are you? Let's see if there's even anybody in the chat here. Oh yeah, we have a couple of people. Today I'm going to be honing this River Razor 6/8. I'll show it to you a little better. Some nice file work on the spine. I just noticed a little bit of either oxidation or dirt from a leftover shave. Anyway, I'm going to be honing this on a Veinette, and I'm going to finish on a Arkansas, sort of going back to a procedure that I used to use. Hi, Josiah. Hi, Sean. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thanks, Sean. This was spur of the moment. I shaved with this razor today. Thought it had been a while, and I checked, and it was in 2024 was the last time I honed this. So I thought, okay, well, I would like. I didn't really have the best shave with it, so I thought, okay, well, I'll hone it. And then I thought, well, may as well do it live. I tried to pick a time when nobody would show up, but you guys are stalwarts, so I appreciate that. I'm gonna do my sort of abbreviated sloppy delicate, and then I'll follow that with the arc, and I'm going to use oil on the arc. I really enjoyed that last time I did it. This razor has a pretty high sharpening angle. It's about close to 19 degrees, and that's really surprising. But it's 19 degrees, but you might be able to see the blade width across is very, very narrow. So the overall cross section that in the first half a millimeter might be still relatively small. So I'm going to give this a try. I do have a method for thinning a razor. I'm hesitant to do it on this razor, but I might. You never know. If this honing doesn't work out, then I probably will. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I hear Boris makes some of the best. Yeah, Boris in French, but yes, Boris does in fact make great razors. I heard from him just a couple of days ago. In fact, we sort of very loosely stay in touch. He's what you can. Boris has a lot of passion for making razors, and when you interact with him, you really get that. It's absolutely obvious when you talk with him or interact with him via email. Obviously, I haven't spoken with him. My French is so poor that it would be embarrassing. And his English is pretty good, as most Europeans, as is true with most Europeans. Most Americans are even our first language is poor. Sean, I know you speak Spanish fluently, so you would be among the more cultured of us. And I suspect Josiah speaks more than one language too, because from what little I've learned, he's a bit of a jack of all trades, which we we enjoy over on our wet shaving, being the home of all shaving geeks, of which I are one. Tomorrow starts the first day of lather games. I know Josiah is going to be in the lather games. His excitement for it has been all over our Discord. Good for you. I literally was not going to participate until about an hour ago, when I made the mistake of looking at the calendar for the first time. So I decided, it's such a privilege to play in the lather games that, and I'm a member of the community now for this will be my fourth, or I think it'll be my fourth lather games. So I don't care about winning. There are good prizes. I'm donating one of them. I'm going to be donating some prizes, but so good prizes. But I don't care about the prizes. I may not be able to post each day. I'm planning to do some traveling. That's the reason I wasn't going to participate. Let's see here. See, catch up. Hi there, Trunker Dixon. How are you? Let's see. I can't remember, but I think he has, Sean. Boris has honed on convex stones, but I don't think he's doing that anymore. Oh, good, Josiah. You got a black art. Boy, Josiah, you have been on a buying spree. Yeah, so I think Josiah is going to be using a straight razor for the first time during the lather games. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Based on how, I mean, Josiah's already bought and installed scales, and I think you've now made some scales. Is that true, Josiah? I mean, you're a hero. That's just impressive. I think you'll just assume it'll take a long time. Start if you don't want to cut yourself up, because that limits the frequency at which you can shave. So take it slowly. Keep the blade angle low. Don't worry about coverage. Don't try to get the closest shave you can. Just try to remove lather and not cut yourself. Sean's now been straight razor shaving for 2 years, and he kind of started the way you did, or you're doing, Josiah. He just jumped in, also with both feet, started honing and shaving at the same time. And so he can probably give you a better perspective on starting out than I can. But even when I taught myself, my strategy was don't cut yourself too much. And actually, I have cut myself. Obviously, you will, but not as much as some people. To date, I do not have any permanent scars from a straight razor. Although I might be emotionally scarred. We'll have to see. I'm really getting, even with this Veinette, I'm getting, you notice I'm slowing down. The stone is really wanting to, I'm gonna really go lighter here. Here we go. Oh, let's see here. I want to catch up. Yeah, Sean, Lyler game starts tomorrow. Good, a lot of good stuff coming from Sean there. Yeah, Josiah, you better like it. I think you should just stick with it until you do like straight razor shaving. You're way too far down the rabbit hole not to. Yeah, Sean, I know what you mean about the bank account. Yeah, the styptic. Yeah, you're going to cut yourself, but he's going to be in the lather games. He's going to be shaving every day, so it's going to be important to not be shaving over open wounds. Getting real nice here. Yeah, so I took a look at the calendar. I haven't even figured out what I'm going to use for tomorrow, but I'll find something. Tomorrow's theme is sweet soap with a sweet scent. And I haven't. They normally tell you what everything to do about what sweet means. I don't have any candy scented soaps, but I have sugary. I have like something like Holy Cow Hiatus, which is a pina colada scented soap, and that's a really sweet drink. So I'll use something like that. Then I don't know what razor I'll use. Let's see here. Catch up. Yeah, slow down. I agree, Sean. A great tip is low angle and go slow. Yeah, there is some guy who did a 3-pass shave in 1 minute and 17 seconds. I don't recommend that. I shave every day, Trunker. And rarely nick myself. So you could conclude from that I'm not removing any hair. It certainly looks that way in the videos. And you never know. I might be that vain that I want you to believe, even though I'm not removing hair, I want you to believe it, which is why I'm making videos. I might be that vain. You just never know. Got a little issue here with the toe. This is what happens when you don't pay attention. These La Veinette stones, I mean, I have a misty slurry on here, but these La Veinette stones cut really well, even though the garnets are pretty fine in these. This is just absolutely popping the slurry. Beautiful. I'm going to do another dousing, and then we'll probably go for the Arkansas. Probably need to test. See how we're doing on the chat. Great advice you're giving there, Sean. Yeah, what puma? Somebody's missing a puma? Yeah, that's true. That's true. I wish I could control dragons. Sean says I'm a Targaryen. Yeah, it does look like that. They're much better looking. I'm not good looking enough to be one. But, you know, I can always work on myself. All right, let's see where we are with this thing. Could be I need to go backwards. We'll see. When you do these lives, it's I get distracted. That's pretty good, really. It's going in soundlessly. Maybe the heel needs a little work. I'm gonna, just for grins. Notice that I am building a slurry in the center of the stone using the unapproved method. The reason for that is when you build a slurry, the reason I do it the way I do it, instead of building a slurry here and here and saving the center, when you build a slurry with a slurry stone, not only do you remove particles from the slurry stone, you also texture the surface of the stone that is the base stone. And so the reason I cover the whole distance is I want that texture. I want that texture in the areas where I'm going to be moving the razor back and forth. So I want to take advantage of that texture. Now that's also the reason why I build slurry with very little pressure. If the slurry stone is unmatched to the base stone, or if you use too much pressure, instead of texturing the stone, you can scratch the stone, and that's not a texture you want. So now let's work a little bit on the heel. I overdid the slurry. Okay, I'm going to water that down because I don't want to knock this edge way back. Let's see here, try to catch up. Which photo did I make? Hey, Boris. Wow, what a surprise. Oh, the wanted photo, is that the one you're talking about, Sean? Yeah, that's probably cause for some sort of lawsuit. You know, us folks around the Washington D.C. area, we're really litigious. We all have lawyers on speed dial. 90% of the working community in Washington are lawyers, so it's not hard to find one. All right, I need to get back to the Misty Slurry to see how I did on the heel. I'm letting the, so I'm using, what I'm actually doing is literally kind of pulling off on the apex. I'm literally very slowly lowering the apex into the stone so that it gradually because I worked on the heel, and what I'm trying to do is to blend that work with the rest of the rest of the edge. So as you can see, the slurry is very. I need more, by the way. What you'll see is a gradual increase in flow of slurry over the edge as I do this. That's by design. If you can see that. I honestly don't know whether you can or not. Flow over the edge flow over the heel is much better than it was, so that little bit of work helped. One of the things that I notice that I do in these lives is take forever to hone a razor. As I said, it's a little difficult to go from kind of zoning in on the edge to catching up with the chat, which is what I'm doing now. Cocktail time. Yeah, Eric, I agree. I'll be doing that in a bit. Oh, oh yeah, Josiah, with the slurry stone, you want to build that slurry itself gradually. Normal Saturday. Apocalypse Now, I mean, there really isn't a best. The Sheffield steel takes an edge takes a great edge. It's a typically fairly soft in terms of Rockwell hardness, and it'll be a very nice, comfortable edge if you have conical. Takes a great JNAT edge. Synthetics are good too. Any of the slates should work well. I mean, we have other people who are excellent honers in this chat, so anybody else should pitch in with your opinion. And it's okay if opinions vary. All right, so now we're back to the slurry just popping over. I'm going to add even more. Not going to get too wrapped up about shaving sharp or final sharpness off the stone since we're moving to the Black Arkansas. Okay, I think it's a good time to, yeah, that's good. The heel is behaving much nicer on the stone. Let's go check. So, Eric, one answer is the best stones are the ones that you have. Yeah, you can get an excellent shave from synthetics most of the time, and I don't mean this in a critical way, but in my own experience, most of the time that I get a poor shave off of synthetics, it's that I've gotten it too sharp, and the edge not the shape of the edge not smooth enough, or I've got technique issues, or the razor just doesn't take the kind of edge I'm trying to put on it. The best stones are the one I'm selling. Oh, you're now selling stones, Sean? Did not know that. All right, let's do some testing on yammering here. We're 27 minutes in. There we go. Okay, so this is pretty much push into the cloud coming off the Veinette, which is I could easily strop and shave with that, but since I thought incorrectly that I would only be about 10 minutes on this Veinette, I thought, oh, I don't want to do a 10-minute live stream. It'll take 10 minutes for the one person who joins me to join me. So then I thought, oh well, I'll go to the Black Ark. This is how I used to always roll. I used to always go from a Cottonkill to a Black Ark. Okay, so we need to, if Boris is still here, this is just an awesome razor. The quality of the work is amazing. My suggestion to anybody is go get one. Let's see, what time is it? Oh my God, it's 12:30 in France. All right, so that's not wet, and doesn't have any dust or anything on it. So let's get some of the cheapest baby oil we could find. Eric turned me on to this because the cheaper stuff is obviously the better stuff. When you buy more expensive oil, you're paying for features you don't need. That was a joke. I'm sorry to say that I have in the past, in my checkered sharpening past, I have literally purchased sharpening oils. And you know what? There really aren't. There's nothing better about them than this, in my experience. Okay, we are on to the oil with the River Razor, 6/8 full hollow. No, half hollow. So Josh, I thought I saw Josh in the chat. This would be for you. It's a half hollow. Here, I'll try to show. You can see the, there you go. Hopefully you can see the profile there. I've been told many times never to do half strokes on a Arkansas, that you should only do alternating strokes. So just for those in the chat, you're watching somebody who doesn't know what he's doing. Sorry, getting silent here. Kind of enjoying the experience. So one of the things I'll mention, in case somebody here, I need to check up. What would happen if I used water instead of oil on the arc? Nothing. I prefer oil. You can use water. The blade tends to stick on the stone a lot. When you use water, the blade, if it's in good shape, will end up sticking on the stone. A lot of people use that as an indication of stopping. I don't use that indication. Oil has just this, it's a lubricant. It gives a beautiful feel of the edge going over the hard surface of the Arkansas. So oil is I've used oil, I've used soapy water, and I've used water. I prefer oil. Yeah, Josh, these scales are pretty amazing. I don't know if it really was Boris, but if he's still in the chat, he's the man. He actually picked these, not me. He sent me a picture and he says, "I think you would like these," and nothing could be more true. He nailed it. Yes, arcs only. Like, well, yeah, P Diddy. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. And so this is a lot of people will only do like 12 strokes on an arc after doing a full finish on a conical or some other stone. But the fact of the matter is, with oil, the surface of the arc, well, I do have a little texture to the surface of this arc, but with oil, the amount of material that you're affecting when you make a pass like this is so small that you can pretty much do this as long as you want. Uh, JPO does point out something about metal. Um, he pointed out that, I need to wash this off. Yeah, hang on. He pointed out that if you go back and forth a lot with some pressure, that actually does something called work. He called it spring hardening. Um, in my world, back in the dark ages when I went through school, we called it work hardening. But what happens is that the metal becomes harder by being slightly bent back and forth. It becomes harder first, and that contributes. What am I doing? That contributes to it then becoming brittle. So you can make that first millimeter of your edge more brittle by work hardening, by going back and forth on your finish stone too many times. And JPO pointed that out, and it's true. That's just a a fact. That's just a thing in metallurgy, in material science. I don't know. I want to have a discussion with him. I'm not sure how important that is. And like I don't know how far you have to go to do that when you're making lots and lots of light strokes. I just don't know. He may. He's a structural engineer, so he may know. He's probably got a lot more materials science under his belt than I do. Plus, I went to school back when the wheel was being invented, so I've forgotten more than I know. Yeah, Eric, I agree with you about oil and floating of the swarth. Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, Alex, that's right. That's right. See you, Josh. No, no, the trunker work hardening is generally a bad thing. Generally, it takes generally the temper of the steel is where it wants to be, and work hardening it makes it takes it out of that territory and makes it more brittle. Um, uh, that is what sort of the predecessor to metal fatigue that Alex was talking about. It's one of the ways in which metal fatigue occurs. All right, I've got this thing washed off while I chat here. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's really 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 good. I mean, hopefully, yeah, you can see. It's absolutely. I'm using zero force. It's just literally no resistance in pushing in at all. And this will get better with some stropping. So I don't want to be doing more with that. Let me catch up with the chat. Check the time, which I'm sure is 40 minutes. That's a long live. Thank you all for staying and keeping me company. I really appreciate that. Oil on a cotty is good. You need to have it dry when you apply the oil, and then afterwards you want to wash it off with soap and water, so that you can use it with water when you're doing a delicate. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Eric, on the 100 to 200 passes. I just do what I don't count, as you know. I go by feel, and sometimes I just get carried away because I enjoy the feel, which is what happened here. Well, PDD is popular in the chat today. You're getting a lot of really good advice here, Josiah. Yeah, yeah, don't use slurry. Yeah, when Eric was talking about swarf earlier, swarf and slurry are different things. Swarf is steel that gets removed from the razor that comes off the razor and stays in suspension on the stone. Well, Trunker, you never know. Yeah, I've been having really good luck with test shaves lately. Um, really good luck. I've been getting edges that are what I call Goldilocks edges, not not over sharp, not dull, um, comfortable in whatever stone I've been using, and I've been mostly doing natural stones lately. Um, all right, all right. Again, thank you everybody for staying with me on this. I'm going to strop this bad boy, and I'm not sure if I'm using it tomorrow or not. I think I can use it tomorrow, being the first day of lather games. I literally have to go check the lather games calendar again and figure out what I'm doing. Um, yeah, so Josiah, you have a headache of a razor that you can't get sharp. It may be the steel. If this is a really cheap razor that you bought off of eBay that somebody tried to restore, what happens is that if they use a Dremel tool or an actual buffer on the razor, you know, to shine it up, you can generate too much heat. Because again, the you know, same thing with the work hardening. The area that's really important is the first millimeter down here at the edge, and that's very thin with most razors. That's a very thin area, and so there's just no volume. If you build up a bunch of heat, there's no volume down there to dissipate that heat quickly, and you can literally change the heat treatment of the steel. So it may be that if all it does is crumble, it's probably that the heat treatment of the steel is messed up. But we can get together, no problem with that. All right. Hopefully, I mean, I see Josiah on Discord, so we can carry this conversation further. Thanks everybody for showing up. This went a lot longer than I thought it would. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time in the test shave. I'll try to do the test shave tomorrow if I can work it into the Lather Games schedule. Otherwise, it'll be somewhere in my Lather Games schedule. And if you want to learn more about the Lather Games, go to Reddit, where you don't have to be a member, but go to Reddit and you can read. Go to the r/wet shaving subreddit on Reddit, and you can read about the Lather Games. All right, bye everybody. So Apocalypse Now, it's a Discord that's associated with the R Wet Shaving subreddit. So you want to be a member of the R Wet Shaving subreddit or a member on Reddit, and then you can get on the Discord. Okay. Thanks everybody. Really appreciate you showing up. Love the chat, love the questions, and I'll